Good day and welcome to the Red Corner Show. I am Shamila Ramjawan, founder of the Red Corner Show, and I am your host today. Please allow me to introduce my esteemed guest, Judy Umraw from Pietermaritzburg, KZN, South Africa. A warm welcome, Judy. I'm not going to go into a detailed introduction, and I'm going to leave that entirely up to you. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the Red Corner Show today. So just to start off, please tell us a little bit about who is Judy Umraw?
Good evening, Shamila. Thank you for this platform. I think it's the most impactful place that, women can share their stories and help other women as well. Well, as people know me as being an ordinary woman with extraordinary experiences. So, I like that because experiences do make a person's life. And for me, I'm just basically trying to do as much as I can to uplift and empower women. And in my journey, this is what I'm all about. So, that's my short introduction about myself.
Wow. Short and to the point. I love that. So, Judy, I must say, huge congratulations on your incredible feat of summiting Mount Kilimanjaro in a sari. I mean, really? So as an Indian myself, who doesn't frequently wear a sari? I can only imagine the challenges that you faced. I struggled to keep one on for more than a few hours at a wedding, let alone on a mountain trek. Now, could you please share your secret with us? How did you manage to keep that sari on comfortably throughout this journey?
Well, I think, the symbolism of the sari, as you said, for me as an Indian woman as well, it's symbolic of grace, it's symbolic of strength and feminism. As much as I could, or as far as I can remember, I remember my grandparent or grandmother and granny in a sari. So they've always inspired me. So that is why I decided to wear a sari to uplift my culture for one, and also to bring awareness to gender-based violence. And that was when I had victims pledge on the sari. So I think that motivated me to keep that sari on. And although it was a very challenging feat, insurmountable at times,
yes.
I would look at these pledges and I would always know the purpose of that sari was for gender-based violence, and I would wear it. And like you said, that, people feel like just wearing a sari for a couple hours at an event is cumbersome. But, wearing a sari on the mountain for 8 days was more than cumbersome. It was a real challenge. Yes. So the reason for me doing that is because the purpose was higher than myself. And that purpose was to bring the awareness to gender-based violence. And every time I put on that sari, it encouraged me to walk every step in it, because I knew at the end of it, I wasn't doing it just for myself. I was doing it for other women out there. So the sari was basically a voice to other women.
Wow.
And to people and perpetrators as well, to say, what, if women are not speaking about it, we can do something about it by doing feats like this and challenges like this to show you that we do have the strength to bring about awareness, to bring about some type of, getting the gender-based violence to the bare minimal. Because as you know, South Africa is now the highest in the world when it comes to gender-based violence, the statistics. So it's actually quite worrying.
It is, absolutely. So just a little bit about gender-based violence and how you are impacted and the difference that you are making in communities. With this journey of yours, with the Kilimanjaro trek, what doors has it opened for you in terms of having that voice for people out there?
Well, I think, when we started off with the climb for charity. That's what we called it, climb for charity. And then we escalated it into Mzansi warriors. So when we got to the name Mzansi Warriors, it means that we were fighting against something, and that was for gender-based violence. And, I have been involved in women empowerment since a very early age. And I think that's what made me so passionate about choosing this as a challenge for me on the mountain as well, because obviously it's extended from what I believed in. And, the extension has helped me bring about this kind of thing on the mountain, not only to the perpetrators, but, to help along the victims, to say, challenges will be always there. We all have, although it's not physical mountains that we're climbing every day, we're climbing other mountains, like emotional mountains. We're climbing, mental mountains. So these things are there on a daily basis. So just climbing a physical mountain brings about, to say, encouragement, to say, yes, I understand you have these experiences on a daily basis, but take it further. Know that somebody is there to help you. Somebody there is there to support you. And that's what the challenges on the mountain is all about. It's all about support, having the physical attributes, but then it just brings you back down to the point where you can climb these hurdles and know that you have that support system as well.
Wow, amazing. Thank you for all that you do. It's remarkable, Judy. We so appreciate you. And, I look at some of these Facebook groups and I see how some of the ladies vent and talk about the abuse that they're enduring, but they can't do anything about it because they're not independent women. And, these are the conversations that we need to have and encourage these women that there is a life out there. You need to upskill yourself, take those extra steps and do what it takes to become an independent woman and leave the abuse, So there's a lot that needs to be done still. But just back to you, walking into a museum and seeing your sari displayed as a representation of your incredible achievement must have been an overwhelming experience. Take us through that moment. What thoughts and emotions were running through your mind as you stood there seeing your greatest moment captured in a place for all of us to see?
Well, actually, it was like, at first I thought it was a dream. But, the thing is, when I was contacted by the museum, they wanted to make it an iconic artifacts because of the gender-based violence and obviously to, feminism and the significance of a sari culturally. So that was actually a very proud moment for me. And seeing that sari exhibited during the time of, activism, gender-based violence activism during the 10 days, that was an additional, pride for me as well, because then it escalated to being, on TV, on Prime News. And that actually brought about more awareness. And the message was very profound at that time as well, because during that period, everybody is diverting their attention to the 10 days activism against gender-based violence. So the timing was correct, and I felt overwhelmed that as an Indian woman, I brought my culture forward. I brought the strength of a woman forward, and I also brought the iconic sari forward with all those pledges on it, which also helped me and give me courage during the climb. So, and as you mentioned earlier, Shamila, it's all about the mindset. Mm-hmm. We can say that, we can skill women, we can help them move forward, but if a woman doesn't have the mindset to get empowered or move a step forward or move out of her comfort zone or move out of her problem area, then, there's not going to be any success rate.
Yes, that is so true. But Judy, I'm just going to digress a little bit because I'm so interested in your journey. Just with the Kilimanjaro climb and the training that you had to go through, and I'm sure it must have been months of training. Tell us about that. I'm really curious to know.
Okay, well, on the outset, the training was so gruesome because we started with 20 ladies, around 20 ladies at first. As I said, we formed the group Mzansi Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And during the 9 months of training, Shamila, we got out of our beds at 3 a.m. during winter, and you being an ex-Pietermaritzburg girl, you know what Pietermaritzburg winters are like.
Cold.
Absolutely freezing. Yes.
Yes.
And we did 9 months of gruesome training, helped us physically, mentally, emotionally. We did most of the Drakensberg, Southern, Northern, Central. We did Lesotho. We did Sunny Pass. We did lots of peaks to help us ascertain whether we were fit enough physically to challenge Mount Kilimanjaro. And during the 9 months, it broke me. It really broke me. And it broke me to a level where I started building myself up. And that building process was to show me that I was a different person now, and I could achieve much more.
Wow, amazing. So where to from here in terms of climbing mountains?
Well, as I said, we climb mountains every day. So, not the physical ones, but the emotional ones and the ones that are mentally there for us. And at this moment in time, I have something, an initiative, which I would call it one of my mountains. And that initiative is the Pietermaritzburg Homeless Network, PMB Homeless Network. So at this moment, that is my mountain. And we're trying to climb that mountain very slowly, but getting it there, we want to get a shelter going for the homeless and for gender-based violence victims. We in the process. It's in its teething stages, but I'm sure very soon we're going to chew off all the big parts out and have something successful come out of it.
Wow, that's amazing, Judy. So I really want to get involved in something in Pietermaritzburg. That's my hometown.
Wow.
I'm a home girl.
Yes.
So I really want to get involved in something, but right now, my dilemma with my studies. So by the end of this year, I want to do something. So I'm definitely going to partner with you.
Oh, lovely. We would love to have you on board.
You have my commitment right here.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Yay.
It's a pleasure. Yes. So definitely I'm going to see how we can get involved now, just start off very gradually and then get into it. But right now I'm so committed, so I cannot get involved too much.
Wonderful.
But we'll talk outside of this. But just going back to you and your diverse career in media and the entertainment industry, what has been the most rewarding aspect of your work so far?
Okay, as people know, I am a qualified dancer. In profession, I'm a dancer. And that got me involved in media because I used to do a lot of show productions for my dance school and for other dance schools as well. And then I was in 2012, I did a production in Mauritius where it was the Miss India Worldwide, where I did the whole production of training and the contestants as well. So yes, I was very involved in productions when it comes to dancing. And then with media, I got, into Infinity Media, which is a filming company. And in that, we were training women how to make their own films. And that, again, is entrepreneurship. It's also telling stories, but via the media. And by making short films. So yes, that was one of my involvements. And then, we did a few student movies. And at the moment, we're busy with some work with a Cape Town company. So yes, we want this to escalate, especially for women, because, in the movie industry, there's not much women there, and women are a bit scared to venture into that kind of industry. But I think it's getting better and better. I see more women there. And at the moment, we are working with a whole group of women. That's from, doing the filming, the camera work, the editing, the direction, and the directing, sorry, producing. So yeah, so it's actually quite nice to have an all-women team.
Amazing. Well, I've seen you on stage, right? I've seen you at the Olympus International Awards where you entertained us and with that fantastic belly dancing as well. So are you going to teach me at some point?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I love teaching and, I love spreading or sharing my knowledge. And like at this moment in time, I've just come back from class with the PAFTA group. The PAFTA group is the Pietermaritzburg Aged Federation and, the Association for the Aged. Mm-hmm. So I've just come back from there and they love it there. And I'm teaching them. They're going to do their own shows as well. Oh, so wow. I'm looking forward to that. Yes. So wow. These aged women are actually going to, I'm producing the show for them and they're going to highlight themselves in the show. And I'm also looking forward to their performance as well.
I can imagine. So what ages do you have there in the PAFTA group?
Well, they range from 60 right up to 91.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing, Judy. That is just, I have no words. I'd love to see them. Please video record and share that with us.
I will, because that is actually, it actually makes my heart, it fulfills my heart dearly when I have to work with these women because, I feel like the aged can teach us so much from their experiences, their knowledge, and in sharing this type of thing for them as well, we can also, collaborate and work with them. They're not, ancient. They have a lot to share with us, and we need to put them out there in the front line as well.
Yes, I remember when I acted in Who's My Daddy, the movie, and
yes.
So I actually took the role of a retired person, senior citizen person, and we had to do these dance moves, but unfortunately the movie was too long, so they had to cut a lot of our parts out. But there was so much of fun. But to try and behave like an old person now, you've got to have these limited moves and just make it fun. It was fun.
Yes,
we had a lot of fun on set. But you spoke about being a producer, director, and performer as well. So, is there any special moment that stands out in your career?
Yes, I think there's quite a few, but I would like to actually pinpoint the one that we had in India. I performed at the Peace Conference in India, and I think that stood out a lot for me because, apart from cultural differences, there was, it was so, the dance moves that I did was something that was embraced by them. Which stood out for me. And also, I learned a lot of things, like a lot of dance genres from them as well. And then, it was like from one thing, it led to another. And from there, I started dancing with like Bollywood artists, backup dancing at shows. So, yeah, that actually stands out for me because from one thing, it just led to something that was so big.
Just juggling so many different things at the moment. Now, just on that, what advice would you give to young women aspiring to pursue careers in male-dominated fields, such as mountaineering and filmmaking?
Well, I think, there is a big difference between the two, but, sometimes it's good to have these different things, especially, when you come to an age in your life where you need to start and try out new things. And I'm very effervescent, if you want to call it. I like to be bubbly and I like to try new things. And if somebody like a young woman that wants to try it, I say go for it. Go for whatever that, aspirations you have. Go for whatever you want to try out because you will never tick a box if you've never tried it out. And, like the Nike logo say, just do it. I always say tick the box and say, just did it, So
wow, I like that.
that's what I say to young women. Go out there and conquer the world. You have the capacity, you have everything, you have the support. And it's women like yourself, Shamila, that are always there to help another woman along. And if they find that they're struggling, contact women like you and me and say, you know what, we're struggling at this point. Please help us with this hurdle. And I'm sure, I mean, you've done it with many women, and I'm sure you would do it with the forthcoming women as well.
Absolutely. You know, that's what we out there. We have a voice and we invite people to connect with us.
Yes.
And this is why we share, because we want to inspire other people.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And, you know, we want, we keep on using the words empowered women and empower women. But, you know, it's up to us at the end of the day to make sure that happens. Yeah. So there's no sense, you know, you keep on saying it, but you don't actually do it.
I so agree with you. Judy, you describe your lifestyle as living off the edge. Now, living off the edge can mean many things. What drives your passion for adventure and pushing your limits?
Okay, I have this term used for me all the time. You know, people like my family and friends always say that Judy likes to live her life off the edge. And that's true, because I like to try new things. I'm adventurous. Like for my birthdays, I don't ask for any gifts. I ask for an experience. So an experience to do something new. I did the Sowetan, I bungee jumped from the Sowetan towers. I love doing stuff like that. I climbed
bungee jumping for me.
I climb waterfalls and bathe under waterfalls. I do hand gliding, river rafting. So that's the edge I like, because it shows me that I have other potential as well. And, you know, I can try out new stuff and new things every time. And I think that's what gives me the edge of life as well, knowing that I can also venture in new things and also inspire other women and other people as well. I have lots of people that call me that, like men, and say, I'm a man, but I haven't done that. You've inspired me now to go and do that. And that is what it's all about.
You are such an inspiration. Now, just looking back on your career and experiences and what you've shared with us today, what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
Well, legacy is, I think the sari has also, now taken its own legacy. It's become an iconic sari. It's holding its own journey, should I say. So I think that's the legacy I'll be leaving, the iconic sari, because it's been exhibited in 2 exhibitions now, in 2 museums, and I see it going forward into other museums as well. So I think the legacy of this will always be, and legacy of women trying to do the impossible whenever they can. That's the type of legacy I want to leave.
I love that. So, to conclude, you've shared a lot. You've shared your journey, your career, your initiatives, your adventurous side. What is your personal message of inspiration with our audience at the Red Corner Show?
Well, I would say, everybody's stories on your show is so inspiring. And storytelling is one way to also amplify voices and messages out there. And I would say, if you dream about something, don't put it on the back burner. Sometime or the other, grab it and go for it, because there is nothing impossible when you are possible. So my mantra is, there's nothing impossible when I am possible.
Yes. The word impossible is
That's it.
Possible. Absolutely. Yes. I love that. Judy, thank you so much for being my special guest on the Red Corner Show. and for sharing your journey with us today.
Thank you.
Any last words?
Shamila, I'd also like to say to everybody, thank you for watching the Red Corner Show, and thank you for the Red Corner Show and yourself for having, women to come and other people to come in, inspiring people to come in and share their stories, share their lives experiences, so that we can also be like, not only guides, or we can also be inspiration, but also like a survival kit for other people to follow if they need be for a survival kit. Thank you.
I love that. And if Judy can climb Kilimanjaro, Mount Kilimanjaro, let's use the correct words, so can you. Okay?
Absolutely. I believe that.
Absolutely. Anybody can if you try, right? It's perseverance, resilience. So to the audience out there, I hope Judy has inspired you. Thank you for tuning in. If you would like to be on the Red Corner Show and share your story as well with us, please send me an email at redcornershow@gmail.com. Judy, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. And it was wonderful having this chat with you.
It's wonderful chatting to you again, and I hope to see you soon.
Me too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Are you ready to dive into captivating conversations and explore thought-provoking topics? Tune in to the Red Corner Show. From current events to personal stories, we cover it all in just 20 minutes of stimulating dialogue. Don't miss out. Join the conversation and expand your horizons with the Red Corner Show. Enlightening discussions from curious minds.